Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another amazing episode of the Weeb Weekly. Hello. We had a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back to cover two of the biggest things that have happened in pop culture recently. And I am joined, of course, by two of the most beautiful men on the internet, Misu and Travis. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. Doing great. Can't wait for this pod, man. I missed it.
Rocking the new haircut. I love it. Mr. Mizu, how you doing?
I am going through a array of emotions. I am happy because I saw a fantastic movie. I'm also frustrated because I've been grinding hard with Elden Ring, and I've been getting into that joint. But yeah, I can't wait for the conversation at hand.
Okay, bet. Travis, you wanted to say something about Elden Ring?
Me too.
Did you get it?
I did it. I stayed true. I'm not
Okay, he's a man of his word. I appreciate it. He's a man of his word. Okay. But yeah.
How was it? Is it as hard as you as we thought it would be, or like
it is. It was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, to the point where you can tell what different types of Elden Ring players are when it comes to these kinds of games. So you got the ones who are just like, I'm gonna go balls to the wall, just go
Strength
in,
build.
do whatever. Exactly. And then you got the ones who just want to look around and just fill in like the lore and all that stuff. And then you got the ones who are like, I wouldn't say overzealous, but they want to be prepared. I was like, oh yeah, I need to be prepared. And before I even got into any big bosses and stuff like that, I went around just grinding, taking out any enemy that I can find that was easy enough for me, and just kept going and just getting all the other people. And I stacked up. I was training, doing some Goku stuff, Rock Lee, and then finally got into fighting bosses, and then I realized that I think I grinded just a little too hard, because one of the first bosses I fought, I beat him instantly. I was like, what happened? Like, I'm over prepared. I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm good. I was wrong. As soon as I found a different boss, instantly demolished me.
Bro, that's what I felt. So I've only done one stream playthrough, and I played with a magic build. So magic builds are really overpowered late game, but at the beginning it's really hard to grind, because like obviously you don't have the spells, you don't have the stamina, you don't have all the casting abilities and stuff like that, you don't summons. So bro, like I played 2 hours and I barely got like the first objective done. And it wasn't even close. Like I felt like I was playing Assassin's Creed at how careful I was being, because I was like, bro, I cannot take a single hit, otherwise I'm done. And I see like all these other like magicians literally like summoning meteors and like shit like that. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go for a Zoro build on my next one. Have a little bit more dexterity, go for a Dex intelligence build, and that's what I'm gonna do for the next time I play. Because like, there's no way that I'm rocking magic at the beginning. Not anymore.
Here's the thing. It's funny that you said that, because I went even the harder route. So I have 2 builds. My first one is a magic build, like you said. I did a similar one, and that one was okay, but like you said, it's a glass cannon. I'm pretty strong, but as soon as I get hit, I'm done for. But no, I made a second build just to see it, just to see how it will be like. And my second build is a faith build. As in, I use like
the Kanye build. The Kanye build.
Exactly. And I was just like, which is even harder, because there's not a lot of spells like there are for like just the magic build, like general spells and things like that. No. I have like specific ones, like lightning spear, which is my go-to, stuff like that. But for the hot minute when I first played, I had virtually nothing. I was pretty much a vagabond with a sword and a shield until I can unlock a lot of these faith spells, which I had to be a higher up level. So I was pretty much playing naked for a good majority of the game until I got strong enough to wield them. And when I finally got to wield them, boy, I felt godly for a second, especially when I got the lightning spear. I've been shooting that lightning spear. It's my go-to thing, and it's a wonderful spell, best spell ever for a faith-based build. And I was just using that one for kicks and giggles to see how it was going to be. Tell me why I made that build my strongest one yet right now. My previous one, with the main one I was using, was magic, and he was like a level like 32, still an infant, baby. And now I'm with my new faith build, and I'm at a level 70 with that one. And mind you, it was supposed to be just a let me see how it looks like test. I'm not really going to play off of this one, and I end up playing off of that one. So it was a pleasant surprise.
all of this
Get the game,
sounds
Travis.
great. Sounds lovely. I'm terrified, man. I really am. I've seen like people try to get to places where they will go and try and find a boss, and the traps. Like there was one particular place where boulders, acid, crazy stuff, or you would just be walking and then like a falcon 3 times your size tries to take you off. I don't know, man.
Or
I'm not
worst
gonna
case
lie to you.
scenario, a dragon just pops up and just tries to wreck your shit.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a very dumbass moment when I was traveling across the land and I met this giant with this mask thing on. He has like a glass mask on, and he can help you smith with stuff. So I went up to him, talking to him. He's like, "Oh, hello there, Tarnish, such and such and such and such. Oh, you see that castle over there? Yeah, don't go over there. Like you'll die." I kept talking to him. What about this castle? Like I'm telling you right now, you will die if you go over there, Tarnish. I was like, who the hell is he gonna tell me about like my power? So I go on there. As soon as I took a couple steps, magic arrows rain from the sky. And I was just like, all I heard was a spell sound. Because you can hear the instant, there's like when you cast a spell, there's a distinct sound. And I heard that. I was like, where is that coming from? Blue beams came from the sky hitting me. I was like, holy crap. And I noticed that every time I tried to move forward to the castle, it kept shooting down. So I'm not gonna lie, I went through like a juggernaut. I was running on my horse to try to get past these magic marks, just so I could find the saving the site of grace. And I found one, thank God. But after that, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop with the site of grace right here, and I'm gonna come back to this place at another day, because that was just a trip in itself. I could not handle any of that. But yeah, I think the one thing that's kind of scary about Elden Ring is that, like in games like Skyrim, other open world games, is that as you level up, the NPCs level up with you. In Elden Ring, not necessarily. You can go to an area where they're above a level that they're above a level that is insane to reach. That as soon as you get near them, they hit you, you're done. And the thing that's so crazy is that the game doesn't tell you that. You just gotta keep a mental note of when you see a certain NPC, like, oh, a knight, okay, he is kind of moderate. You can take him, with 3-4 swings, he's done. And then you see this guy over here, like, okay, that guy is high level. Like, you gotta evade, parry, do everything you need to do, or just avoid them altogether. So I think that part right there is crazy to me. And I'm still trying to grasp how open world it is, because technically there's no objectives. I mean, you have objectives, but there's no list you can go to be like, okay, where do I need to go? I need to go here, here, here. I need to finish this over here. None of that. You just have to remember the last person you talked to, like, hey, there's this castle I'm trying to get into. That's this gemstone I need. You can't go to your save or your your status settings to tell you where that stuff is. You just gotta remember what that person said. And I'm sitting here later on, just like going to this castle, and then there's doors blocked. And it's like, oh, you need a gemstone. I'm just like, gemstone? Where have I heard that before? I said, oh, crap. That one dude said way back over there. I was like, damn.
Caught you by surprise.
But yeah, Elden Ring is a trip. It's difficult. And like, I feel there are days where I feel absolutely defeated. And my wife sees it sometimes too when she hears me. But it's addicting. And I'm not going to lie to you. As a big fan of Skyrim, you can ask my wife. I love Skyrim, everything about it. Elden Ring might be my new Skyrim for me.
Wow.
And mind you, that's not fair to compare a game that came out in 2011 to one that came out less than a month. But I just like the feel of it. I like how open world it is. And there's just so much to do. And the map is scary in the sense of, I thought this general area was going to be the map, but as soon as I discover more things, the map literally gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you explore more parts of the world. And it's insane. I'm sitting here like, bro, the realization happened when I was like, I haven't even scratched the surface of this game.
Wow.
And I saw one of my friends, he beat the game apparently. And I didn't know what I was wondering exactly. I was wondering what the cap off was, the level cap off was, and he finished the game at a level 160. And mind you, I'm a level 70, so I'm just like, I'm not even like, I'm thinking I'm the shit right now. And then I'm like, I'm not even close. I'm not even close.
Got to start farming runes, baby.
This makes me want to ask you guys a question, right? And because of all this Elden Ring news, I've just consistently been asking myself this: do you think that Elden Ring is going to usher in a new era of gaming that is against microtransactions and harking back to an older version of gaming where you just buy a game and it's really extensive and you can't buy anything? No difficulty settings, no aid. It's either you master it or die.
I would love to. So I think there's 4 games that kind of have like paved the way into that and shown that you can do that. It's Breath of the Wild for sure, Red Dead Redemption 2 for sure, God of War, and Elden Ring. Like those are 4 staple games that I can think about that be like, okay, you play the story and it's a collective experience, right? Everybody like remembers this moment. Everybody like remembers playing this or playing this twice or needing help, going to a friend's house to try to get it like to play like those are the best experiences that I had as a gamer, and I feel like those games definitely provide that for us again, especially with Elden Ring because of the difficulty and like having no difficulty setting. It's really important to have those moments of like a collective struggle that builds like camaraderie, builds character, and you can't buy your way out of it. Like, right, you can't buy microtransactions that give you a special weapon that can scale ridiculously and you can just solo the entire game with it. Like, you can get those type of weapons later on, but that's like after you have had the struggle, right? So that just makes the game more fun late game, not at the beginning. And I hope we get to that point. I hope we get to that point where not necessarily the old formula, but like that old feeling of like enjoying a video game from start to finish and having to kind of explore it with other people. I think that's what makes games great. It shouldn't all have to be about getting the every last dollar out of the consumer. So I hope so. I hope so for sure.
Yeah, Jose laid it down there. And the only time I can understand a microtransaction, if you want a certain skin, like you want a certain attire to your character, that in that sense, I can understand that. But like, yeah, you buying your way to progress, or even the worst types are where you have to literally buy in order to progress the game itself. Those to me are like, in my personal opinion, are the most egregious. Like you're telling me that I can't beat the game unless I give you more money. Nah, I don't vibe with that at all. And but yeah, I can definitely see all those games that Jose mentioned being the starting point for games and ushering in a new age of gaming where it's going to be difficult. There's no difficulty setting, which is crazy when now you're thinking about it. It's like, yeah, there is no difficulty setting in Elden Ring. It's just like it all depends on your skill. You have to get stronger. You can't make it harder. It's not easier. It just all depends on you. You make it easier or harder on yourself. So I like that. And I would even put in a little shout out with like games like Sifu as well. So yeah, I think we're seeing, plus a lot of people don't really like the microtransactions anyway. So it's like, I would say a good majority of people are not a fan of it. And honestly, they should realize that it's not going anywhere, because think about it, what games win Game of the Year or get most people's attention? Red Dead Redemption. The first weekend that it came out, it made over millions of dollars in a weekend.
Wow.
And it was a fantastic game. Like you said earlier, I was there with Breath of the Wild. Many of the games that have won Game of the Year were nothing that involved microtransaction games.
True. But I think that those games definitely made way more money. And I feel like overall, I think these companies don't necessarily care about accolades. They care about that bottom line. Like, even though this is a game I love, Genshin Impact, right? Genshin Impact makes money and made money for years and will continue to make money for years. There's another game I like, Marvel Contest of Champions. I think that's a quality game.
I like that.
Quality. But it's microtransaction heavy. And it's been out for 10 years. It's made tens of millions of dollars instead of just a one-time $5-10 fee. You could make money essentially forever. I feel like these companies, the reason I even ask is because I wonder what could make companies stray away from that. I don't know if it could be accolades, but I think maybe it could be just the sheer amount of love and passion that is inspired by these games. Like, everybody and their parents are playing Elden Ring except for me. Like, it's, will will this be enough? I just hope it is.
I hope so too. I hope so too. I've seen a couple of people rocking some crazy builds. I recently saw one doing. I've seen anime builds. I've seen Batman builds. It's absolutely
The
crazy.
build, yeah.